Hello, Ben. So,
Morning.
quite a unique case here. I contacted you back in January, and
Yep.
you said at the time you you didn't feel it was the right time to actually do an interview, and you reached out again back towards the start of October, and here we are now. So maybe we can begin with that. Why did you feel you weren't ready, and what changed?
It was more that I just wanted to people to know that I had my business going and everything like that. And I don't know, I wasn't doing as well as I would have liked to have been doing. I was doing well, don't get me wrong. We did very well for 4 months having an estate agency, but uh, I wanted to wait a year and see where I was after a year because then I kind of know where it's at and where I can go with it and what the actual 4 5 year plan is rather than, yeah, Rockcastle 4 months in, I've made a couple of £1,000 and then, it all falls to shit. I didn't want that to happen. So I stopped it then. I said, I don't think I'm ready. I'll come back to you when I'm ready. And then
Fair
obviously
enough.
messaged you a few weeks ago and here we are.
Okay, so let's get into how did things begin? How did you actually join the real world, and what were you doing before?
Cool. So if I go right back, like I went to university, I studied forensic computing and security. I've got a degree that I've never used. While I was at university, I thought I was being ripped off. I was the first year that I had to pay £9,000 instead of £3,000, and I DJ'd through the whole of university. I was a professional DJ, and I was making more money than my lecturers. And then I had these people telling me, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I'm like, I learned this in high school. Why am I paying £9,000 for this? So after uni, I just carried on DJing. I was earning about £1,000 a week, and just enjoying life. Like, if I'm honest, spent all my money, didn't save it, didn't invest it, like, didn't do anything smart with it, but had a good time. And then COVID hit. Most people that I knew, just like all the DJs that I knew that lost their work and stuff, they kind of just got into depression and like didn't do anything. I went and got two jobs. I worked nights at a petrol station, daytimes at a pet shop. Met someone who worked in a estate agency. Said, "Feel like I'd be pretty good at that. Could you give me a chance?" And then did that. I was there 9 months. Got a promotion that should have took me 2 years. Then made that business 260 grand in new business in the last year that I was there. Asked for a £2,000 pay rise. They said no. So I went, cool. I've joined the real world. I'm going to go start my own business. See you later. And oh, my light's gone off.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all gone from there. Really, I only have got 2.5 years experience in this business before this, but because of the real world and mainly Arno, if I'm completely honest, and his business mastery course, I've managed to get like a head start, and now we're the highest rated agent in the whole of Bristol at the moment.
Okay, so what's clear to me right off the bat is your mindset. It's clearly quite different to the average person. Where do you think that stems from? Would you have something to pinpoint, or has it just been that way your whole life?
It's 100% my dad. Like, my dad had a mortgage when we were kids, and never saw him. Don't get me wrong, but he had three jobs, and he said to me, "I'm not having this mortgage for any longer than 2 years. He said I'm not owing any money, so I'm gonna get this fucking paid off." And he did. He paid it off in a year and a half, and he's been mortgage free ever since. So it all comes from my dad. My dad would have 3 hours sleep a day, just be grafting. Don't get me wrong, he put his time into the wrong stuff. He could have been a millionaire as well, but to him, he's a millionaire because he's got what he wanted. He got his nice house, extension on it, double garage, and his missus, and everything. He's happy. So as long as he's happy, I'm happy. But that's where I get my
Yeah.
work ethic from my dad.
Mhm. So clear to see that positive male role models super important to people, and
100%.
you're a byproduct of that. So yeah. Okay, then getting into the real world, you said you went into the business mastery campus.
Yeah.
Did you go
So
into any other campuses? Was that the only one you focused on? And what did that lead to?
what to start off with, I joined with the intention of doing e-commerce. And I did Schwab's course, and Schwab's course was great, to be fair. And I can build a Shopify store in like an hour and a half now. I can get it all running. I did that for like a month, made about £1,500. And I was like, cool, there's money to be made in this real world platform. And I've only been a member of it for 3 weeks. So now is the time to quit my job, and I will go full ham into this. And then just before I did that, I found Arno's business mastery course. And when he said at the start that he used to be into real estate and stuff like that. And I was like, this could come in very handy. And then
Mhm.
I moved on to the business mastery. I finished the e-commerce course. And now I'm pretty much completed the whole of the business mastery course. There's a couple of things I still need to do, but
Mhm.
it's been the life changing course for me. It was the business mastery one.
So do explain, how was it life changing?
It's,
What did you
it,
implement from it?
so obviously I had all my sales training from my matrix job, as I call it, but it was very focused around them and ripping people off, if I'm completely honest. So I it just helped me explain things better. Arno's that give me the confidence to explain things better to people, explain exactly how I'm giving them value, and we based our whole business around him saying, find USPs that no one else is doing, and go out there and take them USPs and just show them to everybody, and I guarantee you win the business, basically. So that's what we did. We made 6 USPs that are different, completely different to every other estate agent, and we have not lost a single instruction. Every time I speak to a landlord or a vendor selling their house, they come on with me. I have 100% success rate, and I've not lost instruction either, due to Arno telling me how to maintain relationships with people, being honest and transparent from the start. We offer one point of contact, which no one else does. So I've managed to get all my landlords just WhatsApping me instead of belling my phone off. So it's been great. Like the ideas that Arno has given me, and the fact that he relays it back to real estate as well, and how it helped him in some of his videos, it was quite nice to see, because I could actually relate with him
Mhm.
throughout while doing the course as well. So it kind of
Mhm.
just helped me with my negotiation skills, landing deals, talking to higher sort of ticket clients, because I wouldn't have had the confidence, I don't think, about 2 years ago, go and speak to some of the people that I've spoken to this year and the deals I've pulled off this year. But with Arno's guidance, and obviously like Tate and people like that, and giving you motivation and all that crap.
Mhm.
But I don't believe in that. I just get my own motivation and go and make money, basically. So
Okay.
yeah, it just give me the knowledge on deal handling more than anything, and handling stress. And like, because the people we hang around with, they're always like, "Oh, you must be stressed. You must be burnt out. You must be this." I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking will be if you keep putting it in my head." Like, but I feel great right now. I've had 16 coffees. I'm top of the world. Like, what are you on about? So, yeah, it's nice to just make sure that light don't go off. It's just it just helped me with confidence, everything, and
Mhm.
landing deals. Biggest thing.
Got it. To clarify for the audience, USP is unique selling proposition, correct?
Yes.
And how did you go about coming up with the 6 that you used? Like, what was the actual process there? Because I'd imagine it required quite a bit of brain calorie and investment.
Well, you say that. When I worked for the estate agency that I worked at, I made a friend called Matthew, and he was the executive branch manager of a big branch in Swindon. And we used to chat on the phone and stuff. And he quit about a month before I quit because he had enough. And we had a bit of a laugh on the phone. And I said, "Oh, when we start on our own, then Matt," like, and had a laugh with him. And then we were just like, "Yeah, yeah, whatever." Left it. Then a month later, I rang him up and said, "Yeah, I ain't joking anymore." I was like, "We need to meet at the pub." So we went to the pub. We were there for 12 minutes. We shook hands. We were going to do it. I quit my job the next day, did all that. And we basically just sat in his conservatory, and we just looked at each other and we were like, "We have dealt with landlords and tenants for at least the last 2 years. What is the biggest gripes they have with the companies we work for?" Because we worked for the biggest estate agent in the UK. So main gripes come with them. So we were like, they don't pay the rent until 5 days later. So we were like, if we could somehow pay the rent same day, then we have a much better USP on them. So we did. We went and got Let's Pay, which is AI banking. It pays them in 90 seconds, does their statement, and everybody's happy. No one's waiting for money. The reason they do that in other estate agencies is to gain the interest on it. So if they had
Mhm.
20,000 rents come in over the country over the one day, they'd hold it for 5 days, make all the interest on it, and then send it. But then sometimes they won't send it for 2 weeks. And then the landlord's phoning me going, "Where's my money?" And I'm like, "It's up with the accounts team in Nottingham somewhere. They're doing something with it. Sorry, mate." And so we were like, 90-second payments, that needs to be one. And then we just sat there, just what are people pissed off about? Communication, cool. We'll add WhatsApp. Like, we'll just give WhatsApp. People like quick. They don't want to be sat on the phone, no one picking it up, talking to different teams. They want to talk to the same person every single time, and it makes it so much cleaner doing it that way. We also open 7 days a week. Most estate agencies close on Saturday and Sundays. We get most of our business on Saturday and Sundays because guess what? The landlords ain't at work, and they generally answer their phone in a better mood. So it's we were like, we're missing a trick here. So we tried it out on the first Sunday. We posted up on Facebook and our socials and stuff like, "We are open, by the way. No one else is. If you have a house that desperately needs to be let, get us out to value it today. And we got 3 valuations that day, and I made about 1,700 quid that day. And I was
Mhm.
like, right, cool, we're staying open on Sundays. I don't care, I'll work every day. So we did that. 24/7 maintenance is another one that we've just managed to bring in because of the real world. 2 weeks ago, I signed up to the AI automation course because I was interested in seeing what that was saying. And I was kind of taken back how quick it gets into it. And I was like, this could be game changing, man. So we need to have a look at this. So I've spent the last 2 weeks, I've managed to build a property maintenance call handler. I've named him Raj. Right, he's basically gonna pick up the phone to anyone who has maintenance issues. He diagnoses them. He gives them things that they can use to maybe like stop it temporarily, and advice what they can do if it's dangerous. And then he's got a choice to either put it straight through to Serena, which is my head of property management, or he would log it and put it into an Airtable so that she can follow it up later on. So he basically figures out the severity of the case, and then if it's like a gas leak or anything like that, he will automatically phone my gas engineer and just put it straight through to it, and then be like, "There you go, done." So it was just listening to staff basically. Serena's got 62 maintenance requests in the last 2 weeks, so they've all been dealt with by Raj and sped up everything for her, whereas she would have been pulling her hair out if she was having to do it, talking to these people and stuff. So that's kind of changed it. And I've put a AI chatbot on my website that books me valuations. It can register tenants. It can book your mortgage appointment, tell your mortgage calculation repayments. It can also book in property maintenance. They can put it all through there as well. So we've utilized AI so we can say that we actually genuinely have 24/7 maintenance, and you will genuinely talk to someone, whether it's a robot or not. They don't know that. Right?
Mhm.
So that's another USP. That's something we wanted to do from the start, but we've been trying to figure out how we could do that without paying someone to be here 24/7 on the phone, basically. And now I've done
Mhm.
it thanks to the real world. So that's all done. And then, yeah, just loads of other stuff that landlords had gripes with, really. And answering the phone was a big one. So we bought the best phones we could possibly find. They detach out of the phone as like an iPad, so the staff can take them around with them as well. So they've always got their phone on them. We have a floating landline number, so we can all have it on our mobiles. So if the office is closed, it means that the phone doesn't go without answering. We can pick up the phone wherever we are in the country. So it's just all about communication, if I'm honest with you. What are USBs? Because it's the biggest thing in this business.
Wow. Okay. I'm actually just interested myself when you said about the property maintenance AI, the
Yeah.
24/7 call service. How did you actually set that up? So that's taught in AI automation, everything about that?
All in AI automation. Yeah,
Oh.
they've added some new videos in the past 4 days. And I got all excited when I logged on there because I thought I finished it, and I was like, "Oh, there's some more stuff I can do with it now." Raj will soon be able to. I pay for a software called ValPal, and what it is they set up my adverts. They run all my Facebook adverts for me, and then they get me leads for valuations for either sales, like someone wants to sell their house, someone to let their property out, or like a tenant looking for a property. I don't really care about them. There's loads of them already, but I want the lettings and the sales valuations. I'm trying to set it up so that I've built another agent that can then pull the data from the Airtable. Once the Valpal fills in the Airtable, it will take the data, it will take the valuation that Valpal has given that property. It will then come up with a conversation, phone that person and say, "Hi, my name is Ben." I can clone my voice for this as well. It's ridiculous. Right? I can go, "Hi, my name is Ben. I'm the CEO of RNG Property. I've just got your valuation request. Were you happy with the valuation that the AI gave you?" And then they'll be like, "Oh, no, it's a bit lower than I thought," because they always say that. And then AI Ben will then go on the mission. I've done a global node as well, so it's something they can go back to if they get put off course. So like if their main job is to book evaluation in person, they wanted me to get out there in their front room. That's the main objective of the call. But if the person they're talking to kind of diverts and starts chatting to him about what makes you different in the business or something like that, you can have global nodes set up over here. So say it's following this path, it will then jump over here for a second, answer the question, and then it'll go back to the path it's meant to be on. So I filled it all out, and the global node I've got on that one is a objection handling specialist, and I can't even get past the guy. I had to basically say yeah evaluation because I've been testing it and testing it. I've just been arguing with it flat out. I'm like, "Raj, I don't want anyone coming out my house. What are you saying?" And he's there like, "No, no, you need to have someone come." And then in the end, I was just like, I'm not going to win this. Yeah, fine, I'll book it. And he was like, "Yes, fantastic." And then that will book straight into Calendly, send them an invitation, send me an invitation, or Matt, whoever's booked in for the valuation, and then we all get notified that that's going ahead, and we haven't had to do a single phone call, and I've just been making thousands in the background doing something else. So,
That is just insane.
it's
Wow.
mental.
Wow.
And this is in 2 weeks, Rockcast. So I never touched that program. It's a program called VoiceFlow and Bland AI. Never heard of them, let alone touch them 2 weeks ago. And now I've built all of this simply in pure fact because of that AI automation course. Like nothing could top that. Like, if you're going
Insane. Just listening to this and hearing that the technology is there already, and you're saying that recognizing people's accent doesn't matter how they speak, the AI will pick up on it.
Yeah, the AI is actually ridiculous. Right? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it gets a little bit confused. Like if the environment in the background is really,
Mm.
really noisy, it gets a bit like, yeah, I can't hear you. But I've set it up so if it needs to interrupt, it will just say like, "Hi, your environment is very loud. Can you phone back later, please?" And then just hang up the call basically.
Mm.
So it doesn't get confused and starts saying random crap I don't want it to say.
Yeah.
Because when I first built it, he was there going off on a mission about another business, and I'm like, "What are you talking about there?" So I
Yeah.
had to put some restrictions on it and stuff like that. But the course shows you pretty much what to do. Then it is down to you to then go and get really into it and get deep dive into it. VoiceFlow give you full manuals on how to use everything. So if people say that I couldn't really do it because the real world didn't show me as much, the real world shows you everything you need to know, and then it's down to you to go and make it shit up, basically. So
Mhm.
I would recommend anyone who does watch this to do that course because that is going to change my business. I want to be able to be launching the first AI ran estate agency that I can run from Bristol but have national around the country. Because if I
Yeah.
got robots working for me in every city and I've just got a list of contractors that can go out and fix stuff, there's no reasons for me to go and get offices in every city. I'll just run it from Bristol and just make more money. And that's the plan.
Insane. But again, you're using everything that's up to date, the technology that's there, and
Yeah.
you'll just get so far ahead of the competition because everyone else is too slow to implement. And that's
Yeah.
being shown clearly right now what's
Or
possible.
too scared. Or scared. A
Mm.
lot of people, their excuse is, "Oh, AI is going to take over." I'm like, look, Raj on the phone, like my little voice bot is not going to be taking over anything. And I said it. The thing that triggered me quitting my job, because I did love my job, Rockhouse, right? I did. They gave me a chance through COVID. I was very grateful. I put 110% effort in for them people. I was in work 6 o'clock in the morning every day, getting business for them, doing everything that I needed to do. And obviously, I asked for a pay rise. They said no, even though I made a load of money. And then the CEO bloke that I've never met on before until this company bought them out, Connells, basically, if you've heard them, like the massive estate agent in the UK. They bought Countrywide. And then all of a sudden, the CEO was down more. And this bloke did not like letting anyone speak that he thought was below him. And I had to listen to this bloke for about 2 hours, and I went, right, you're going to shut up and listen to me now. I'm going to show you something that you don't know about. I was like, because you seem to be full of these great ideas. I was like, this is ChatGPT. You've probably never heard of it. I was like, but I write all my property descriptions on it. I tar up all my photos on it. I do everything on this, and it speeds up everything. So I really think you need to implement this around the business. And he went, AI is going to take people's jobs. I went, no, I'm going to take your job because I know how to use AI and you don't. I was like, that's the difference. I was like, they ain't going to take the jobs. They're going to help people take your job. I was like, and then he was like, no. And then a week later, he put out an email to the whole company saying we're implementing AI, and it was his AI, his idea. And I was like, I'm going to go kill this guy. So instead of killing him, I'm going to start my own business, and I'm going to take all the properties off of him. And I now manage over 200 units on the rental side, which brings me in around about 15 grand a month. So
Mhm.
Dave, the CEO of a Countrywide, if you're watching this, there you go, mate. Done it, all right?
And you ain't slowing down, so you better be careful. Yeah, better watch his back all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so with everything you've implemented with AI, if
Yeah.
someone would have approached you before you implemented it and told you, here's what I can do, make you a property maintenance AI call 24/7 thing, chatbot for your website, how much would you have actually paid them for that
Well, I did.
service?
I did. This is the thing. I paid for a company. One of my landlords, he's from China. He develops AI,
Mm.
and I kind of got famosed a little bit, if I'm honest with you, mate. I was paying 150 quid a month for this thing that was going to register my tenants only. That's all it did. And I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. I was like, this is amazing. I was like, I love using this. I took it straight from Rightmove and everything like that. And then obviously when I started that course, I was like, I don't believe it. I was like, he's lied to me. I was like, he's just built it on this clearly. I was like, and he's done it in like 20 minutes. And I was just sat there so confused. I was like, nah, he must have something else that someone doesn't have. And he does. He's managed to get integration with Rightmove. Don't get me wrong, that's big. But at the same time, I don't really care because most people come to my website anyway. They click on the Rightmove link, they come to my website, so they'll just talk to my chatbot. So that's why I set like a 3 day limit on it. I was like, if I can't build this in 3 days, right, then I will. It's a waste of my time because I'm putting stuff on the site that could be making me money rather than, if I can't get my head around it, then there's no point. I might as well pay the 150 quid and keep that one. I did it in 3 hours, Rockass. Like literally, it was like, did the videos. I was like, yeah, I could do this. And I made mine about 10 times better. It does about 20 different other things that his doesn't do. So I was bringing him up. I was like, yeah, mate, gone. All right. I'm not paying it anymore. Sorry. So it depends what it does. Like this is my overall game plan as well, is to build my AI software, RG AI, whatever I'm going to call it. And then once it's working on my website and everything is up, fully functional, no bugs, and I know it's reliable, then I'm going to package it all up and I'm just going to sell it to estate agents. And I'll target independent only estate agents first, get all of them signed up. So then the big conglomerate like Connells and Countrywide that then have to have it because everybody else has it, it's 900 quid a month per branch for them. And they'll be like, yeah, I know you got the money because you boasted 1.2 billion pound of profit last year. So give me some of that. Right? So
Surely you could charge even more than 900 per month for software like that.
per
It must
branch,
be saving them way.
they've got 2,782
Oh,
branches. Right? So it's instant money. Right? But yeah, you could. If it did everything that I want mine to do eventually, I reckon you could charge an estate agency about 1,500 quid a month, and they would be happy to pay it because
mhm.
it would literally save them so much time, especially on the property maintenance side of things. Because with property maintenance comes stress and high emotions, so that they don't see that things can take a couple of hours to come out and fix and everything like that. I've got to phone people, especially if it's on a Saturday or Sunday. I've got to get emergency contractors out there. I also then have to talk to the landlord to make sure he's happy to pay for this to go ahead, or he's got the funds to pay for this, or am I fronting it? Like, so, I've got to weigh up all these things. So when you got emotionless Raj on the phone, right? He doesn't give a fuck. He just wants details. So he's just like, get on with it and give me the details, please, because I don't care about you crying down the phone about your tap leaking. Like, I just want to get this resolved. Whereas Serena on the phone, she's absolutely amazing at her job, but she will be like, "Oh, I bet it's a bit cold in there with you not working on. What are you doing? Of course it's bloody cold. Just get on with it." Like, what are you on about? So it just takes away that emotion barrier as well, and just speed things up. Because once they realise they're chatting to a robot, they're like, "Well, I'm not going to get anything out of this, so
Mhm.
might as well just give it the details he wants, and he should be able to help." So just all about speed, money, and that's what we base the
Yeah.
whole business
Wow. I sure learned some new things today. That
on.
was very cool. All right, then just to clarify, you said you're averaging about £15,000 a month
So
from
we've
what you said?
guaranteed £15,000 a month before we open the door. So the way it works is our business plan was built in the letting side first, because with the letting side, if we manage a rental unit, we obviously get monthly income as a management fee. So we generally take about 10% of the rent. The average rent is around about £1,400 in Bristol. Obviously, we did half price deals when we were first starting out. A, to annoy Countrywide, and B, just to get the business through the door. But we promised them that they were RG OGs, we called them, and they would be on that fee for the rest of their life if they were decided to give us a chance now over the corporate conglomerates. So they were like, "Yeah, you got the story, you got the backing of us," and we've actually made loads of friends with landlords, and they're like our best mates now. We have like events; they all come down. We've sponsored by Wiper and True, which are a Bristol-based brewery, so we get free beers from them. We've teamed up with loads of people already, and everyone just loves us on our little matrix defeated mission, as we call it. And because it is the only industry, Rockets, that hasn't changed ever. Like, it's still the same. And anyone who starts an estate agency literally just takes the terms of business from where they worked, copy and paste it, and put a new logo on it, and charge all the same fees and don't do anything different. And then they go, I wonder why we're not making money in the first year. Me and Matt cleared about 80 grand profit in our first year, and is unheard of in this business. And it's because we don't just stop and go, oh, we're doing all right now. Like, me and Matt want more. I want 75 branches in 75 cities if we go that way in 3 years, or have the first now in the past 2 weeks have the first AI powered estate agent that does everything. I've just signed a deal with another estate agency, which are already national, and they are literally going to pump us to the moon by the end of the year. And we're going to have at least a Manchester branch, a Nottingham branch, and a South branch. Go away. Sorry, guys. And then that's the overall game plan. Is just to take over the world. Like, I want to be out of this country, living here in the next 5 years. I can't live here anymore. I need
Yeah.
sunshine and I need happiness, because everybody here is miserable and depressed, and they can't see that it's their own brain doing it to them, and it does my head in. Because then you get accused of being insensitive and stuff like that. When, like, I've made friends with tenants. Like, I've got blocks of flats that we managed a whole block, and there's a couple of young lads in there that were like, "Oh, Ben, you're like an inspiration. Like, you got your own office in all in like 5 months." And I was like, "Yeah," because I wanted it and I knew it was going to happen. And they were like, "Oh, I can't think like that." I'm like, "Well, that's your problem." Like, like, what do you mean you can't think like that? Just wake up, look in the mirror, and go, "I'm the top fucking G," and then walk out the door and go make some money. Like, and they were like, "Yeah, I can't do that. My missus just left me." I'm like, "No wonder." Like, I'm trying to be nice to these people, but I was just like, no wonder, like, because you're miserable, and everything you say to me is trying to bring my mindset down, and I'd rather just get you on. I've still got a tenant now. He texts me about 50 times a day. Says I'm a father figure to him, even though I've spoken to him twice. Right, and I'm like, look, I've tried to help. I've said everything I need to say to you, that, but it's down to you to go and do something about it now. Not just watching Andrew Tate videos, thinking it basically was just like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, it's going to be better if I just watch Andrew Tate telling me to do stuff. No, I was like, you need to go and take action and implement that into your life. Like, because Rock, I'm not going to lie to you. Over that period, January to April, I think I logged into the real world about 3 times because I was so busy. I was like, and I felt really bad. I was just like, I need to be logging in there, chatting to people, but I just don't have the time because I've made myself so busy. And January was kind of the turning point for us. So when you messaged me back in January, I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this as well, because I think this is about to 10x. So I'd rather
Mhm.
come up on the video with something actual to show you. For example, my office and all the stuff that we bought in here. Like, we were all on 2024 Apple Max M3 chip ones, like the best ones you can buy, and it was no problem. And all the other estate agents walk in and go, "Oh, I'm on my little £200 Dell Wise terminal." And I'm like, "Yeah, we give every staff member a MacBook." And they're like, "Why? Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Because there is no excuse then from staff members that the technology is not fast enough. Because that is the biggest excuse in all the other ones. Computers crashed. Oh, emails ain't working. Better not do anything for 3 hours now." They haven't got that excuse for me, Rockcast, mate. They got the best fucking laptop you could buy. So I'm like,
Mhm.
that's no longer an excuse. And we are also trying to give back, and we've put up adverts for jobs basically saying, if you're at university and you hate it, get out now, right? Or if your mum and dad are making you go to university, don't do it, get a sales job instead. Come to R&G and we'll make you rich, basically. I've employed a 24-year-old and a 21-year-old. They're both female and they're both absolute animals already. And once I've had them for another month, they're going to be unstoppable. They're literally, well, one of them's already brought in about 40 grand's worth of business already in the first month we were working here. And it's just, so, we just employ young people, basically. We're trying to give back and basically get them out of university, get them out of debt, and just start making money straight away. We had a contract come through over the last 4 weeks, which was potentially us to earn £32,000 extra. We've already hit 20K of it, and that's thanks to Keisha, my member of staff. She's let 22 flats on her own in 4 days. Right, got all the money in, all paid, all signed up, everything, no fucking around, speed money in. And she is going to be, and she's 21. She's 21, never went to university, didn't know what she wanted to do. Now she loves it here. So we offered them a holiday. If they got them all let, they're going to get them all let. And we're going to have to take them on holiday. So it's going to be a nice RG trip to Vegas or something like that, and then just to celebrate. And then, but they know we're different as well. Like, on a Friday, we'll just get them a coffee before they come in. We're like, here you go, here's your coffee. No excuses. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nice fancy coffee that you like with all the crap and sprinkles on it. So no excuses. Get that down you, and we'll start cracking on with work. And every day is just morning meeting. We have a quick meeting in the morning, set up everybody for the day. What's the word of the day? And they will just shout cash at me, and then get cracking on. So it's good.
So a clear representation of life is your creation.
Yes.
Everything you had basically envisioned in your mind, you took action, and look at what you've done in such a short amount of time. And yeah, if you had any doubts, then you wouldn't have achieved what you have achieved.
No,
Or maybe
no,
that's the wrong way of saying it. Maybe you did have doubts, but you just took action through them.
to be honest, Rokas, right? Everything I've ever done in my life, right, I've had a little doubt. I've had that little
Yeah.
pen in the back of my mind going, what if this doesn't work out? What if this does? When it came to this, I don't know why, but I looked Matt dead in the eye and I was like, we can't fail. I was like, we know everything about the business and everything wrong with the business that we cannot fail if we put 100% into this. So let's just go and put 100% into it and we can't fail. And he was like, yeah, we can't fail. Then I'd speak to my mum and dad and they were like, you can't fail. And I was just like, and everyone kept, it was like I changed everybody's mind, like for me, like to project their energy onto me to go, yeah, you can't fail, man. You cannot not fail. And then in the first literally like 2 weeks, we made about £500 of that recurring rent roll. Like, so it was guaranteed £500 every month. And I said to Matt, I was like, we've done this in the first couple of weeks without an office, running out of a conservatory. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, this cannot not fail. And here we are. Like, we've got a full team, everything. So I truly believe in manifestation now, because in our business plan, me and Matt like to write everything down, like get everything down on a piece of paper, everything we want to do, the targets we want to hit, make some Gantt charts and stuff, because he likes all that visual stuff. I'm just like, let's get on with it, right? But we do all that, and I would be sat there going, right, we've done the plan and all that, like anything else we need to add in. And then the plan kind of just put to one side. You know what I mean? We put it to Metro Bank for a bank loan. They approved it in 30 seconds. And I went, right, so take that. Didn't take the bank loan in the end, but we took the client money protection bank that we needed with Metro Bank. If anyone is watching this and wants to bank with Metro Bank, don't, because they are the worst bank on the planet. I promise you. Right? And literally, like, we've been arguing for 3 months, and they've just sent me $2,000 to apologize. So they are terrible. Any businessmen that want a business bank account, do not use them. It would be more stress than it's worth. But we basically, we got everything together. I can't remember. I got sidetracked then, Rock. I do apologize. What were we talking about?
I was saying about you said manifestation, and then I think you sidetracked.
Oh, manifest. Yes, right. Yeah. So we wrote everything down on this plan. We put it to one side, and then about 2 months ago, we read the plan for it, and we were like, "Wait a minute! Everything we've written down on this plan has came true in order, and it was ridiculous. Like, to the point, like, we got this office through an investor. We met up a landlord. He had a load of flats. And we were like, I like the look of your commercial unit. You do absolutely nothing with it. Would you give it to us? And I'll give you a small portion of the business, since you're a landlord as well. You can say you're a landlord of your own letting agency." And he was interested, so he did give us the office. And then on the business plan, it said, find an office, in brackets, preferably via an investor who will pay the utilities for us. Right. And then that's what we got. So we haven't read that since we wrote it, but we've written it down. We had it in our minds that this is the plan. Let's just go do it. And then when we read it back to ourselves, I looked at Matt and went, right, we need to do the next 5-year plan and write it down and put Lamborghinis next month. All right. This clearly works. So we've done a whole, I did use the Lord Knox's strategic intent triangle. We've mapped out all the next years of the business. We've done Gantt charts explaining timelines and exactly when we want to achieve these things. And we've been realistic with it. We always stay realistic, because it's much better getting more than what you've put down than getting less than what you've put down. So we go, realistically, we can make this. We know we can make more, and we will make more. But if we get this, we're happy. And it's just the way we think, and it seems to work. But manifestation, definitely real.
Yeah. And I've heard too many stories at this point for it to be a coincidence. And it's very similar, where you write something down, then you forget about it, like a whole plan, then you forget about it, and then a year down the line, a few years down the line, you find that piece of paper or wherever that note is, and you read through it, and you see, wait, I've basically achieved everything on this.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
insane.
it was like. I couldn't believe it, right? Mate. I literally couldn't believe it. I was reading through it. I was like, everything has happened in order. Like, it wasn't as if it just jumped around here or there. It happened exactly in order. And I said to Matt, I was like, either we're in a simulation or manifestation works. All right. So either or, we're going to be millionaires. Right.
Yep,
So we're going to do
yep.
this.
And just for the contrast there, before having joined the real world, and maybe even before you got into real estate,
Yep.
what were your plans? What did you have planned for your life?
I wanted to be superstar DJ. Right, I put a lot of effort into my DJ Rockcast. Whenever I do anything, I've always had this mindset. It's from my dad. He said, if you can do whatever you want to do, I don't care what you do, as long as you always put 110% in, you don't fuck about. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. Like, so that's what I did. And I said to my dad, I want to be a DJ. He obviously gave me the standard, like, oh yeah, yeah, all right, you're going to make money from that. And then when I did my first gig after DJing, I think because my cousin was a DJ, basically, he taught me everything I needed to know in about 3 weeks. So I had a massive head start on everyone else. I was 18 years old and I was earning £200 a night in a nightclub getting cash. And on every Saturday night, and all my mates getting their student loans while we're at uni, they're like, oh, we can't do anything because we ain't got any money. And I'm like, I've just made an extra 200 quid this week on top of my student loan that I haven't spent because I didn't spend 200 quid on beers going out on the Saturday night or on a Friday night. Like, I'm going to work, you can go out and spend all your money, and I'm just going to have money. I was stupid, Rockass. I never saved any of this money. I never invested any of this money. I never did anything with it apart from have a good time, have fun, as the Berkeys call it. But if I went back, I would definitely save some of that money from the DJing. But it got to a point I was making £1,000 a week. My dad couldn't complain. He was like, fair play. You did everything I asked you to do. You're now the best. You can play on turntables. You can scratch. You could juggle. I won the BPM Freestyle Pro competition. I won the last ever one they ever did. So I was proper freestyle DJ, Rockass. Like I could have entered Redwood Freestyle. I wanted to. And then COVID and everything, by the time I was ready and I was good enough to do it, ruined all of that. So my game plan was to be famous DJ, but didn't care for social media enough to get to that point. So I always wanted to have my own business from the age of about 12, mainly computer business. I thought I was going to have like a hardware company or something like that. But then I lost interest in that. I like talking to people and I like selling stuff to people, and I feel like I'm very good at it, and I can make, like, I employed someone at the start called Bart, and he was your typical 2000 salesman. Like, he wouldn't change any of his spiel for anything. And then he came out with me and realized how I was with people, and I'm completely different to him. And I'm like, look, I'm not asking you to change your whole sales pitch because it clearly does work with some people, but some you have to have the ability to change. And I'm like a chameleon. Like, if I've got a posh landlord, I'm like, oh, hello, sir, how's it going? Like, you know what I mean? I'm Mr. Posh, right? But then if I've got someone who sounds like me from Bristol, they're generally just like, they like a cider in the pub. They're usually called John, and it's like, hello. And I'm like, oh, you're right, mate. How's it going? And they're like, fuck me, you're an estate agent. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just normal. I'm just a normal bloke. So what you said? And then it always works. And he didn't understand that. He thought you had to be like, oh, hello, yes, with everyone. And I'm like, some people, they're going to tell you to piss off because they don't want it. Like, some people you can tell who want that straight away. And then I put him on the real world for about a month. I went, right, just listen to Arno. I was like, just go and do this course, all right? I was like, because once you've done it, you'll be a different man. And he didn't do it. Then he stole a load of money. And then I punched him in the face and then I sacked him. So he's goners now. We wanted to only employ blokes to start off with. And I've swiftly changed my opinion on that for now, because the blokes I have employed is they're very opinionated. It's like they want to own the company rather than work with me to grow the company and make money together. The only person that's stuck here who's male at the moment is one of my best mates, Dom. I didn't speak to him for about 6 years. He was one of those mates that if you ever pick up a conversation with him, it's never changed. But like he lived miles away and everything like that, so we just never really caught up. He used to do mortgages, and I knew he quit as a mortgage advisor, so I just belled him up and went, fancy coming back and doing mortgages and helping me grow a mortgage side of this business? And he was like, yeah, all right. I was like, you can do my social media at the same time. And I was like, because I know that's what you want to do. So he was like, yeah, same. So he does all that. And we just teamed up. But he, at the moment, is the only bloke that I've managed to keep hold of, because the other ones, they just seem to, whenever you try and teach them anything or say, I think you need to do it like this, it's like, because they're my friend, they're like, no, I'm just not going to do that. Whereas with the women, I'm like, can you do this, please? And it's done. There's no fucking around. There's a lot more emotions in the office, don't get me wrong. But we quickly nullify that. But yeah, it's just we've got a real strong team now. So I'm really trying to promote now the business everywhere, get it known, and take over the rental market, because we are not only saving landlords money, but we are saving tenants money as well. Our biggest USP was a loyalty scheme that no one else does, and it drops their landlord's fee by 0.25% every single year. And it's to stop them randomly raising the rent for no reason when it's not due to rise. Like, if the rent in that area hasn't gone up in the last year, then there's no reason to up the rent, but they always do anyway. So if I give them a little discount every single year and just raise the rent a tiny bit, we still make the same amount of money. They get more money back, and the tenant's not as ripped off on the rent. So they're less likely to say no to the rent increase because it's a £25 increase instead of a £100 increase. And everybody seems to be happy, and we don't lose any money in the long run either. So it's just something else that no one else has done that just sets us apart. and we get people phoning us. Like, I haven't done a call out day for about 3 months, right, mate, like, because they just phone me. Oh, I've seen
Mhm.
your website, look completely different. Seen you running around on Facebook, putting up some boards and having a laugh and all that stuff, and like doing some promotion. Yeah, we'll just come with you. Just come around and take photos. It's on. No spiel, no hour long meeting needed. They sell themselves on my website. It's great.
Mhm. Amazing. I think that gives a very good overview of you playing to your strengths,
Yeah.
what you've built with the mindset you've had, the action you've taken, the life experience, even what you were saying with you regret having spent all the money before. Maybe it was required for the life experience that you had, or for those
Yeah.
experiences. Because
I,
who knows, maybe
I think
things wouldn't have turned out the way they did if you had saved at the time. What if you had invested in crypto and then become a millionaire from it, but then you just get lazy because I'm a millionaire. What now? I don't know. Like you never know what could have happened. So
I would not
instead, you're
have had
actually
any
going for
sense of
pardon,
satisfaction out of that podcast, mate. Because
pardon.
if I won big on crypto, I'd have been like, yeah, I've done nothing to deserve
Yeah,
this.
exactly, exactly.
For
So
me, the chase is the fun bit. As soon as we got paid like 10 grand a few months ago, and we was like, me and Matt were taking home like 8 grand each, and it was the biggest amount of money we were taking back out of the business and everything. Because obviously we got paid 6 members of staff as well,
yeah,
and we were so buzzing, and I was just like, I don't know what to do with it. Like, I've earned it now, but that's mine. I don't want to spend it. I want to like put this back into something. So then that's when we just started upgrading things to help our daily life, basically. And then we were like, let's just put this money back into the business quickly, and we'll sort ourselves out in 3 years. Let's get this making £2 million a month. So me and you can go and sit on a beach somewhere and just run it from. We want to buy holograms, right? And just have a hologram into the office one day and be like, morning, right, we're here for your meeting, and then we don't actually have to go. So that would be the plan. But
or just have a AI Ben replace you for
yeah,
everything.
exactly. Like, I was thinking we were going to buy one of them Elon Musk robots next year whenever they come out, and I'm just going to be like the first mission. I just get it in and be like, right, here's 200 addresses, go door knocking, and just have a robot running around door knocking these houses. It'd be hilarious, but I might do that. Fuck it, why not? And just get him on the phones, get him talking to. He could be my little meet and greeter in the office if anyone walks in. He could be bodyguard if anyone starts kicking off. Like, he would have so much uses for 30 grand that I think was a good investment.
Mhm. Cool, man. Really enjoyed the conversation. We need to wrap it up though, because
Yeah, sorry,
it is
I'm
almost
a bit of a
45 minutes now. But
chatter.
yeah, man, that was I don't know. I don't even know how to put it into words. I really enjoy speaking to you.
I
So to
enjoyed
wrap everything
it.
up, since this a lot of this began in the real world, what
All of it.
advice would you have to people who say, "What if I'm gonna get scammed for $50?"
I say it to all my friends. It's not a scam because you've got at least 2,000 people coming on to these videos saying that it's changed their life. Just learn to take a risk. This is my biggest advice. Learn to take a risk, because if you don't take any risk, you will get no reward. And I took the biggest risk of quitting my job with no actual plan of how I was going to make money. So I had to make money. I had to go and make it work. So I'm not suggesting that someone put themselves in that position. But for me, the biggest thing was I need to take a risk. I need to get out of this negative environment that I'm in right now, put myself into a positive mind frame and a positive environment. Team up with people. Don't do it on your own, because as soon as you do it, trying to do anything on your own, you will get a little bit lost and a little bit lonely or whatever, and it might affect your mindset. Me and my mate Matt, we have become brothers doing this. We have got each other's back 100%. There's not another person on the planet I trust more than that guy, and we have done everything together. So team up, get yourselves on the real world. I wouldn't even spend 50 quid. I would spend 850 quid getting a 2-year membership to lock you in there, and then just do the work and get yourself something out of it. Because one of my friends signed up, and he had a go at me. He's like, I've got no value out of this whatsoever. I went, what have you done then? He's like, well, I've been flicking throughout the courses and stuff. I can't really find anything I want to do. I went, well, pick one for one, stick at it, complete the whole thing, and tell me if you don't get any like reward out of it then. And that's what he did. He spent a month, and now he does crypto, and now he makes quite a bit of money doing crypto. So he took my advice, and he just sent me £1,000 a couple of weeks ago. And he was like, "Here you go, thank you so much." And I was like, "Signed." I was like, "Happy days." Put that in savings. But yeah, it's anyone who wants to spend 50 quid on the real world. Well, in the UK, it's not even 50 quid. It's £38.44 if you want to know exactly how much it correlates to. So I guarantee anyone watching this will spend 38 quid on a Deliveroo to get your McDonald's or to get your crap sent to your office like these, right? You know, that cost my PA 20 quid this morning for 2 free coffees, right? If you're willing to spend it on that, spend it on something that's going to make you money and change your mindset and be around blokes and women that want to make money. And it would just change your life completely.
Very well said. And now, if people want to find out more about you or contact you, where could they do so?
We have a website, which is rgproperty.uk. I'm not very social media driven. I've just started my X literally about 2 weeks ago. And if I'm honest with you, I only signed up to it to enter that Lamborghini competition. But I've got people doing that for me now. So if you want to go on X, my handle is Schlunken, all right? And it's spelled SHLUNKEN. But main way to get hold of me is just go onto our company website, company Facebook, socials, and everything like that. You'll see me running around pissing off other estate agents and just winding everyone up. But it seems to work because every landlord hates estate agents and they don't hate me, so it's all good. So yeah, social media, RG Property Bristol, and then rgproperty.uk. That's the best way to get hold of us.
We'll add that to the description of the video so anyone interested can check that. And yeah, Ben, man, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your
Thank you
story.
so much for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
I see what you meant by you wanted to wait a bit because you saw the potential the business had. And yeah, I'm very happy to have finally met you, done this interview. And with the trajectory you're on, man, I think we're due for a follow-up at some point, maybe 3 to 6 months, because I'm predicting some insane progress.
Just so you know as well, I'm opening a coffee shop that's attached to my business, all right, because we've got the unit there. It's just included in the office. A coffee shop's opening there in 3 weeks' time. We have free gyms, a Royal Mail, a BES mechanics, another thing all around with no access to a coffee shop that I've offered 15% off and guaranteed 100 coffees being sold every single day, which instantly means I'll be making around about 17 grand profit a month. And that'll be opening in about 3 weeks' time. So if you're ever in Bristol Rockhouse, please come for a coffee. It's on me. And speak to you in about 6 months' time, and I'll give you the update.
Amazing.